I'm Karl Konrad and welcome to our weekly edition of Australian Immigration News. This program is proudly brought to you by Australian Immigration Law Services right here in the heart of Sydney. The good news this week is that Victoria and Western Australia have opened their state sponsorship programs and their requirements remain essentially the same as last financial year. Victoria has received its sponsorship allocation of 5,000 places, with 3,000 going to the 190 visa and 2,000 for the 491. If you have an old registration of interest on the Victorian system from last financial year, you can leave it in place for this financial year, and good luck to all of you. The ACT also received its allocation of numbers of 1,800, with 1,000 going for the 190 visa and 800 going to the 491 visa. We have yet to see anything released from New South Wales regarding the allocation of numbers. Western Australia has also opened its program now and hopefully will send out some invitations soon. The requirements too seem to be the same as last financial year, including the fact that people living in other states of Australia can be considered. Next week we hope to have some more news about other states opening their programs. The Administrative Appeals Tribunal, known as the AAT, made a recent decision regarding the 485 visa. An applicant who applied for their 485 visa chose the wrong stream by mistake and was refused by the Immigration Department. He accidentally clicked the wrong box, which of course could happen to anybody who does it by themselves. He chose the post-study work stream instead of the graduate stream. The AAT ruled that the applicant's simple mistake of clicking the wrong box did not mean that he applied for the wrong stream, and the applicant won the appeal. And of course, all the new marketing names for the 485 visa streams chosen by the Immigration Department, which began on the 1st of July, will certainly only add to applicants' confusion. It has also come to our attention that many 485 visa applicants who applied before the 1st of July trying to beat the age cap had their visas refused because they lodged their visa application on the same day they received the completion letter. And thank you to Ryan who sent in an email referring this to us. Now, many students were very grateful that the universities actually gave these completion letters before the 1st of July, and of course many people wanted to lodge their applications as soon as possible. Unfortunately, though it is technically correct that according to the regulations you must apply the day after the official completion date. However, there may be some hope at the AAT if your application is refused, so make sure you get advice on whether to appeal. We note there is nothing on the department's website to warn people about this issue. And even if you manage to find the regulation, it's actually difficult to interpret. Agents have access to the department's policy on this issue, but the public cannot easily obtain it. There is a chance that even if the AAT refuses the application, you can appeal to the minister to reverse and grant the visa for you. Now, this all may take a considerable time, and perhaps even longer than the graduate visa itself, and book a time if anyone wants to discuss this issue. Now it's time to address the contributing parents visa fiasco. With waiting times blown out to 12 years or more parents are giving up hope that they will ever see the visa granted in their lifetime. And those who are lucky enough to still be alive when it is granted, they will be wondering what the $43,600 per parent is really for, considering they may not have much time left. This whole scenario now questions the legitimacy of the contributing parent visa program. I remember when we first started lodging these contributing parent visas, it used to take between 6 to 12 months for a visa to be granted, and we thought that was great. After 2 or 3 years, it started to get to 18 months of processing, and we thought that was a long period considering the amount of money applicants were paying for this visa. Then time started stretching to 2 to 3 years, and that was seen as an exorbitant period of time to wait, but there were still many applicants who decided they could bear that. In about 2021, the department's website still claimed a 3 to 5 year processing time. However, the warning signs were on the wall already even back then because of the huge influx of applicants into the parent visa program during the pandemic period. The Immigration Department failed to warn these applicants that they are really looking at potential times between 10 to 15 years. Many feel they have been conned into this false hope and treated cruelly by the Immigration Department. Tonight, we talk to Marcus, who is a retired judge from the United States of America, who consistently comes to Australia on visitor visas to be with his family. He feels he has been snookered into a position of waiting years for a visa that in the end, he may never be able to use. Hi Marcus, nice to see you again. Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi Carl, it's really nice to be here.
Thank you. And today we're going to talk on the show about parent visas and the ridiculous 12-year wait time that it's blown out to, and that's affecting people like you and many, many others. So it's time to give them a hard time and let people express their feelings, what they think about all this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so what made you want to come to Australia, and when did you apply?
My daughters are both citizens here, and they've both been living here quite a while. My oldest daughter's been here about 12 years, and my youngest daughter, she's been here about 8 years. And during that time period, about to December of 2021, we decided to make a request for the 143 visa. When we did, I carefully went through, read the instructions, and we looked at the timeline that was actually promulgated by the department in the instructions. They had a kind of an estimated timeline, and that during that time, I remember it being 3 to 5 years processing time. And we thought, well, that's not too bad. Because we had a dependent at the time, the initial fee was $7,000 with an additional amount of $43,000 per person. So for the three of us, that would have been, just shy of 130,000 Australian. Fairly steep amount for just getting it expedited and getting to be here with our daughters and family. So we applied for the process with the understanding that it'd be rather quick. It was about a year later that I was on the internet kind of looking at where we're at, and I discovered that there was a FOIA lawsuit that was filed against the government requesting the actual timeline. And I remember reading the suit and finding out that it was 12 years plus. And I think it's still 12 years plus 2 years later. My wife and I, we really feel like we were snookered. I went by the instructions, like you've said, many people have done, and with the understanding of, Australia is not a corrupt country, this is my understanding. And I trusted the department. In retrospect, I should have called a guy like you. You probably would have told me, you're looking at 12 to 15 years. Think about it. And had we known that, we absolutely would not have, because I'm 63, and 12 years from now, I'll be 75. I don't know what health I'll be in. Why am I paying $130,000 for an expedited processing that takes 12 years? Is ridiculous. We would have waited all that time, paid all that money for nothing. It's cruel. It's kind of a cruel joke what they're doing. What they should do, in my opinion, that they should have done is when my first daughter left 12, 13 years ago, they should have told us, well, more than likely, your siblings will probably may or may not be able to go. Maybe she would have reconsidered. I don't know. But, just be honest with the people. We can take it, We've got a good place to go back to. U.S. is a great place. And I'm not worried about that part. We just wanted to be with our family. And for those individuals that might consider going to the United States, you don't have a balance of family test. You don't have to worry about, do you have half the siblings in or what have you. It's only one. They believe in putting families together. You can sponsor your brothers and sisters. And for those individuals that don't have a way in, since the doors closed after you've gone through all the way through, consider some of these other countries that do want you and will take your families. They do take you. There is no cap on number of parents coming in. It doesn't exist in the United States. So if there's 1 million immigrants a year coming in, well, guess what? Their parents get to come in too, and they don't put a ridiculous charge on it. We're not worried about, these individuals, they might get some benefits. You know,
Mm.
I don't know. I still think that Australia should have a visa for individuals like my wife and I. We don't need any benefits from Centerlink. Nothing. We don't want anything. We have our own insurance. It works here. We have our own money. We just want to live with our citizen daughters, you know, that are here and visit them, be with them. In America, people want families to be together. That's just is. We're not actually sure what we're going to do right now. We're just kind of in limbo. Probably we're just going to head back to the States and just let it go.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to happen. And one of the things that I wanted to address was I watch your show. We watch as a family every Saturday when you put it out. And I'm mostly, the reason I'm here today is I'm concerned of all of these individuals. My son falls in that category that are working, jumping through all the hoops and everything, and then finding out they're moving goalposts. And for whatever reason, these people are finishing their studies. They're valuable people, and Australia is tossing them away. You don't want them. I would like to say, you know, don't be discouraged. Check into some other countries. The United States, for example, we accept a million legally every year. We're looking for talent, and if Europe, I imagine, is many more. Those individuals have earned their degrees, their bachelor's degrees, their master's degrees, their doctorate degrees. You know English. You've done a lot. And if Australia doesn't want you, maybe another country does. Sometimes a bad thing can be a really good thing. So don't lose hope. Have a look at it, and perhaps some sort of a network for those individuals that are being cast to the side can find a good life somewhere else.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point indeed.
Why, Carl, wouldn't they make a visa, just make it a residence visa with no citizens' rights or anything? Just make a visa. If you've got your own insurance, you don't cost us anything. You get to stay here and enjoy your family.
Yeah, they should definitely make either a retirement visa again, more active, or clearly if people are not going to be a burden on the system, then.
You know, my wife and I, we come here and we spend money. We just do that. It helps the economy. We don't cost them anything. We never will. I have 3 different insurance coverages worldwide through my pensions. My wife and I were looking at the 870 visa to come over here. And after watching your show with what has been done to the 485 people and then cutting the student visas in half, I looked at the 870 visa. We actually got our daughter approved to sponsor us. And that paperwork went through. But then, hearing what they've done to these other people, we kind of thought, well, gee, are they going to change the rules on that too? Right in the middle, I don't know.
Yeah, that lack of trust in one area that they create, and it has a flow-on effect to all sorts of areas and other people.
It does.
Yeah, which is sad. All right, Marcus. So let's hopefully they'll increase the cap, or something good will happen, or they'll just get on and clear all this backlog out, so they can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, Marcus, and
a lot of people.
Thank you indeed, and let's stay in touch and let me know how you're going.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We thank Marcus for agreeing to be interviewed and hope the government will take action to increase the number of parents who can join their families in Australia. They should at least offer refunds of application fees if people decide to withdraw. Parents like Marcus and his wife are not going to take up a housing spot. They're not putting anyone out of work and ultimately spend a lot of money here in their retirement. They will be in a positive influence position for their grandchildren and the community as a whole. It's a no-brainer, and the money they pay anyway will cover for Medicare. And for our other younger skilled visa hopefuls, Marcus is correct. Do not lose hope if Australia does not want you. There may be other countries out there to snap you up. We will shortly contact other agencies like us to explain how the US, Canada and other countries take their skilled migrants. And remember, if you need help, we are always here. You can book a time on our website, but if you need one faster, please call. We are just creeping over the 93,000 subscriber mark, And those who haven't clicked on that button yet, please help us reach that 100,000 milestone by Christmas. This is not a business goal, for we are busy enough. It's a personal goal, just a reward for me for making these videos, for when I started I never thought we would get so many people to enjoy this program. I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend, and as always, take care out there, and I will see you next time. So bye for now.